think I'm recording. Let me loosen this up. There we go. Good. Alright, now. Take a few years for it to get up. Yeah, I'm thinking it should be okay. Or should I just take it in a little more? If I take it in a little, I better leave it where it is. Alright. See how soft the ground is. I was just thinking of something here. Why I'm coming out wide is because the weeping willows, you know, you guys all know what they are. They grow tall and they have long screaming branches and they catch a lot of wind. So therefore their root system spreads way out. Not so deep, but way out to help support the size of the tree. You know, nature takes its course. And they also seek water, so they're always searching out looking for water, and that again helps support them. So I don't want to kill too much of the root system, so I'm going to dig around out, and then I'll see if I can just lift it up a little bit and get it from there. But the more I think about this, I'm wondering, see, this one over here is doing real good. Give this about another month and you won't even know it, you won't even recognize it. You won't even see the birdhouse. Here's what I'm thinking. Chris has got something going over there. He got a leaf blower that's like a turbine. This tree is the same age and was the same size as that one. Why this one's doing so well is because it gets a little bit more water down here and not a whole lot of bright direct sunlight. Now, as you can see, the bamboo's coming in, so they're gonna fight for the space here. I don't see the bamboo taken away from the tree, nor the tree taking from the bamboo, to be honest with you. They'll probably cohabitate pretty good. But what I'm thinking of doing is maybe just, and what brought this to my attention was years ago, 35 years ago, on a parkway, they call it Saltonstall Parkway. It's basically Route 1 in East Haven. They had like a vegetable farm market called Twin Pines, and there were two great big pine trees. They were about 60 feet apart, maybe. They were probably 75 to 100 feet high. I mean, they were monsters, and they were identical, so they called it Twin Pines. And the Twin Pines actually, they built the market around them. So when you went inside, you seen the trees, and it was a nice place. But meanwhile, about a block and a half, 2 blocks down from them, on the corner, there used to be 2 weeping willows, and they also were real close. They were about 30 feet apart. And they didn't interfere with one another. They grew into one another. They supported one another. And they actually grew quite nice. So I'm wondering if maybe I should bring that other one down here, because this is the lower portion of the yard. This does get more water, which that's what they want. And it gets sun, but it's not 24/7. It's not all day blazing sun like over there. So I'm actually thinking of bringing the other one down here and popping it right here. Put it right where I'm standing. And I think that'll give it one hell of a chance. And I'll yank this out. That's just I have no idea what kind of a tree this is, but it's just, at one point was a little weed. But that's nothing to pull out. So that's what I'm thinking. And then if I do decide to do anything with a small pond or water something over there, I don't have to worry about the tree root system growing through it or into it to get to the water. And that there. So I'm thinking this would probably be the best spot. So this is where I'm going to come next with the tractor. I mean, the holes that I just dug, well, the one that I dug to put the tree in, that's going to be an easy fill, so I don't concern myself with that. It's not like I'm doing it by hand. The one that I'm digging up now, I have to in order to get the tree out. So let's go over here, and I'll take you down with the John Deere Cam, and we'll dig it out. See, I'm taking it easy right now only because I don't want to destroy the root system too much. And I don't want to tie anything around it, because if I create a band around it of the bark being broke, in other words, if I was to cut a ½ inch of the bark all the way around off, the tree would die. The nourishments from the ground follow the bark. So the worst thing for a tree is destroy the bark. The more bark you destroy, the less the tree is going to survive. Alright, I gotta go around back to the other side. Just thinking of something. I just may be able to do it with the front bucket. If I can get under it enough. And I can bring some of its own earth with it, the ground that it's used to being in. I'll get it over here, put some bone meal or something down in the hole with it, water the crap out of it, and it should be okay. Because again, it's still early in the season, so it hasn't started looking for anything just yet. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is leave that alone for a while. I'm going to just fill in that little hole right over there that I just took the other tree out of. So I want to fill that in so nobody trips on it, snaps an ankle. And then I'll go get the hose and I'll water the crap out of that and let it get down into the system. And tomorrow I can come out here and level it out the way it's supposed to be. So let me get some of this done. what I'm doing here is popping the backhoe back. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a quick back blade just to kind of even all this out a little bit, because I've been running around here quite a bit. And just a real quick, not a lot, because I still have to do all that. But that'll get done the next couple of weeks. And then I'll go out front and we'll get the wood. So where can I put you guys? Where, oh where would you like to be? Like to be there. No? How about there? I don't know if that's going to stay there or not, but we can see. We will try. I guess the camera stayed with me, huh? Alright, so anyway. Somewhat level. It's not perfect yet, but like I say, I got other things to do, so I just wanted to get it so that nobody's going to trip or twist an ankle. I gotta find a hose. I have a, what do I have here? Looks like I got 1, 2 hoses, 3. Come on, give me, what's this one? That's the only one I need here. Okay, I can use this other one. So let me get rid of this so-called soon-to-be, someday, possibly an antenna. And this is the one that I'll take down there because I need it to be long enough to get to those trees. The wife will change it out later. She has one of those collapsible jobs. Am I going to get this out and around all this? Let's see. Probably. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll pull it out. A friend of mine is a cook. He's actually a chef, but he cooks down at the Coast Guard station. He does Wednesdays, I think, lunch, and he also teaches the upcoming chefs. So they had 3 or 4 of those big pans that they used to use for, you know, baking things in the oven. They're baking sheets, and they're like 2 feet by 3 feet. Yeah, and they were beyond their time. So he cleaned up, I think there's 3 or 4 of them there. He cleaned them up and he said, "Do you need them?" I said, "Yeah, here you go." I'm not sure, but I think we already had one going. Hold on, I gotta put you down. I think we already had one going the other way. I'm not positive. If not, there'll be another one going the other way shortly. Must be about 1 o'clock. There. Turn that on. Yeah. The wife will be replacing this later anyway, because she's got, like I say, that collapsible hose that she keeps out here. And it'll actually, the one she has will reach over to that light post over there. But right now, I just want to get down to that tree that I planted. Oh, and the other one that I tore up. Let's just do this for now. There. Remember that twig that grew here? It was like a little tree. Well, it's a tree. It's not a tree. Well, I dug it up. Well, I'm not a believer in killing things unless I really have to. So what I did was I just replanted it over here real quick. Now, is it going to be in the way? Eventually. There's another one that I did. All right, and there's a few more. When I pull them up, like this stuff I won't try to save. But when it comes to this stuff, anything that lives, you know, I have a passion for it. That's all there is to it. You know, call me a wussy. I don't give a shit. But, you know, I dug it up, put it over there, filled it in with some good soil that came from the hole. And if it takes, it takes. You know, so, and I don't see any reason why it won't. So, same with bugs. We're not a believer of killing bugs. I mean, I ain't, you know. Stay out of their way, they stay out of my way. Instead of killing them, I try to figure out a way of keeping them from coming into my area. We used to have a lot of ants at a certain time of the year. and what we did, we just started planting peppermint around the foundation. Got rid of the ants. We didn't kill them. They just don't come in the house anymore. Yeah? That's all there is to it. So, try to figure out a way of letting nature do what it has to do, and me not disturbing it. I don't care if it's a weed, a bug, anything. If I can just move it so that we're not interfering with one another, that's what I'll do. Now here's another one. Eventually I gotta have to do something with this, because I don't want that there. That's going to interfere with that Cleveland pear eventually. So that'll also end up over there. That's another reason why I really don't know if I want to fence all that in. Because if I fence all that in, I'll have no place to transplant these trees, saplings, weeds, whatever you want to call them. Because, you know, I'll have the whole yard fenced in, and I'll be looking to move them all. So, you know, this one will stay. I'm not going to do anything with it. Again, just leave it there. If it starts to interfere with me and starts to take the fence, well then I'll have to do something with it. But unless it's really interfering with my lifestyle and we have no way of working around it, here comes that other train. I told you. You get one each way. Okay, so there's 2 in the morning, 2 around now, and 2 around you know, late dinner time, you know, for people that are going home. And then there's another one closer to like 10 o'clock or so that comes from Boston into New Haven. And then every now and then, like I say, a couple times a week we get the quarry train. The quarry train is, the way I understand it, I'm not totally positive, but we have a pink granite yeah, it's not a mine, quarry in our area. It's actually in Stony Creek, and apparently it's pretty well known and people like it and want it. So it's always getting, you know, cut and sold. So there's a quarry train, that's what we call it, because it comes from the quarry. And it goes through 2, sometimes 3 times a week, late at night. You don't hear it going back, but you definitely hear it when it goes. And it's not so much that you're hearing it as much as you're feeling it. Because even though we don't hear these trains back here, you know, during the day, if we're in the house, if I'm in the back of the shop here, I hear them. But if I'm in the front of the shop, I don't hear them. And we don't hear them at all in the house. The quarry train, when that goes by, the neighbors across the street and such, I'm going to say 400 yards away or better, they feel it, you know. I mean, it's not a disturbing thing, it's just that, you know what it is. Oh, there goes the quarry train. It takes about a minute. I mean, it's not a long train. And then that's about it. So, but apparently this pink quarry, this pink granite rather, is, again, pretty well wanted throughout the country, the way I understand it. I never really got involved with it too much. One of our selectmen that we had 2 terms ago, him and his son Andy, that I call Bubba, nice guy, nice family. They actually, they don't work the quarry, but they have a a shop to where they work with the granite. You know, they cut it, they slice it, you know, they make steps out of it, they build walls with it. If you went by their place, you'd swear it was the full quarry because, you know, that's all they work with. Get out of there. Come on. There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay. Tomorrow I'll come over here and I'll rake this out and make it neat and make it level. Because if you bury too much of this bark or the trunk in the ground, that'll also kill it. You want it to be just above the root. You know, like an inch or so, if that. Why don't we give you some water while we're over here, huh? Yeah, why not? Let me get some down under those leaves for you. Not like there's not enough dampness back here. Anyhow, here I am getting off track, but I want to get this done. I want to make sure that there's some water down here for it. Otherwise I'll forget about it and then I'll be up all night. I'm coming out here in my house coat, it's dark. Alright, that takes care of that. Now, I don't have enough hose to make it over there, but I know that's wet, so I'm not going to be concerned about that. Cleveland pears. They're a nice tree, they grow quick. However, they're not a real strong tree. Cleveland pears have a habit of splitting. Like for instance, in this fork, right, they have a habit of splitting. It's a weak spot for a lot of trees, but when it comes to the Cleveland pears, it's really weak. There's another one. So they're totally different, but you know, and here's another one. Now these were the ones with the full trunk. Those we've got from an actual garden shop. Van Wilgen's, which is one of the biggest ones around here and takes pride in this stuff. That one and this one came from Home Depot. That one came from Van Wilgen's. Now this one, you can't tell because it healed up pretty good, but we lost a whole piece of this tree. I can't even tell you where it broke off now. Alright, but we lost a whole piece, almost as tall as the tree. There used to be two of them coming up. Like I say, Cleveland pears are nice. If you want, they come, they have little flowers on them, they have little, in the spring, they have little leaves on them most of the year round after that. They're a good, quick sound barrier if you want to do something quick and have them grow relatively quick. However, they're not a real stable tree. This is a fruit tree that never produces fruit. And it's in a good spot, and it looks like it's got a lot of disease on it. So this is one that I may have to. We'll see how it looks this spring. And if worse comes to worse, I'll try moving it over there someplace. And if it doesn't make it from there, what can I tell you? So, this is all getting redone this year for the boys. We just did that last year, so that'll stay. We may add to it or change it a little bit. We change things around the yard constantly to keep the boys, their activity level going. You know, otherwise they get stale. You know, it's the same thing every day, every day, every day. You know, so you gotta keep them active. You gotta keep their minds active. All right, let's jump on the tractor and go on this wood. I'm hoping I don't have to get the saw and cut. Sometimes the tractor puts static on the camera, and I can't help that at that point.